Hey, y'all. Happy New Year. Happy Sunday. Happy, happy, happy. I missed y'all. I really did. Um, we got a new look. We got a new song. It's a new year, and I'm so grateful to be sharing space with you. If you are watching live or if you are watching on the replay, I'm just grateful to share space with you. The comment section is open. Be mindful that whatever you place in the comments, I may share, and so I'm just grateful to be in communion with you. Happy 2023. We made it. We are 8 days in, but we made it. And I am grateful for so many things. I want to say thank you. Um, Thank you, Marissa. And I'm going to talk about the pink in a little bit. I want to say thank you to those of you who do subscribe and watch on YouTube, Facebook friends, and anyone who has contributed to the support of Evolving Spirit Wellness in 2022 and in 2023. I know that I am making more of an effort to be intentional about where I invest my time. And so if you're investing time with me, I don't take it lightly. We all have things that we want to do. We talk about in the new year. One of the things for me is to support more, be more supportive, and invest more in my friendships, my partnerships, and wherever I may be collaborating. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I get so centered on what I'm doing and how to keep this thing moving that I forget that the connections that we make life worth living. And if we don't invest and pour into them and cultivate those relationships, then we might be finding ourselves feeling lonely, isolated, and all of those other things that can contribute to our suffering. And so, thank you. I do not take it lightly. Any of your contributions, whether it's a wave, a hi, a phone call, it matters. And for that, I am grateful. As I have determined that 2023, hey, my love, oh my gosh, hey, my love. I have declared 2023 the year of the inner child, and we're going to be doing a lot of inner child work. A lot of the meditations are going to be aligned with the inner child focus of this year. Right now, we're in January, and so there is a method to this madness. We're in January, so we are in our incubation phase or our creation stage, our conception all this month. And for those of you who, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, those of you who are going to be joining us in the Evolve community, there is going to be some deep healing work around the developmental stages that we've all gone through. We have all gone through. And now we have an opportunity to reparent, rebirth, unlearn, and learn some things. This is not an opportunity to blame or judge or criticize anything along our lifestyle, anything along our life journey. This is an opportunity to just bear witness to just how magnificent we are, that we've made it to this point in our lives. And if we have any measure of self awareness, we recognize that along our developmental journey, there are things that we missed. There are things that we got, and we want to honor all of those things and give ourselves an opportunity. And so today we're going to do conception and creation, because before any of us were a thing, there was an idea of us being here. And so I have some information that I want to share through some of the books. But if you have your own definition of conception or creation, I would ask that you pour that out for the next 60 minutes or so and really, you know, embody what those of us who, think about being in the space of a womb, being in a space of not knowing, being in a space of creation. We are in the beginning of this year. And so many of us are writing things down and resolving to do this and resolving to do that. And I'm going to change this and change that. There needs to be a starting point for that. There needs to be some basis of why you believe that you need to be this new thing, creating this new thing. And if you don't have a great foundation, what is it going to look like? And so, whatever your definition of conception or conceiving is, let's be open to whatever is going to be developed. And so, one of the things that I like to do is pull apart definitions, traditional definitions of words. And I have some books here that help me do that. This is a New Thought dictionary. It's tiny enough that I can carry it with me. So, anytime I want to clear out a preconceived notion about something, I can use this to give me a new thought. And so let me put my glasses on. So, the definition of conception in this New Thought dictionary is the power in man, and I'll say human, the power in humans of forming abstract ideas, the image or idea of anything formed in mind. So, that's one resource. I got another one. The revealing word, which is also a metaphysical dictionary. Conception, power of forming ideas in substance, the embodiment of an idea. So before we can create a thing, we've got to think the thing. We got to put it in our mind's eyes. And so, what I'm asking for all of us to do in this meditation, as we think about what am I creating? What am I creating in this year? What thing is going to take birth? And before it can be born into the world as a physical thing, I have to create it in my mind. And so, one of the other definitions of conception is conceiving. I mean, we're all adults here. We know how each and every single one of us was conceived. Pour out of your mind whatever story might have been going on with your mother, your father, in the conception of you. We are talking abstract ideas of conception. And with that, think about the things that you want to create in this year. Even if you've only gotten to, because we're only 8 days in, if you've only managed to think about what I want to do in this month, in the month of January, or maybe you've put it in blocks of 3 months, 6 months, however it best suits you, you have to be realistic about the conception of it, the birth of it, before the birth of it, the creation of it. Do you know it? Do you see it? Do you feel it? Do you talk to it? This morning I talked about that there is absolutely a plethora of research that talks about when a baby is in utero and things that caregivers can do, playing music, soothing songs, all of that can impact the growth and development of a baby in the womb. The same is true for whatever dream you have for yourself, whatever vision, whatever goal. The more you nurture it, the more you care for it, see it, talk to it, make sure that it gets what it needs, the better chance it has to develop in a healthy way. And so, if there are some particular things that you desire to do within this year, then now is a great time for you to clear out whatever definition of can't do, won't do, this is hard, this is that, 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 that. Now you have the opportunity to think about its conception, its creation. And so today, as we meditate, we're going to be focusing on creating a fertile ground. Fertile ground is where we go to plant things that we desire to grow. And as we are going to be growing in this year with this inner child work, we have to start at the beginning. And all things start, hey, Miss Erica, all things start with creation in your mind's eye. And so, one of the supports that we will be utilizing this whole year is The Healing Wisdom of Africa by Malidoma Some, who transitioned not too long ago. Y'all can see my tabs and my highlights in the book. I love this book for many reasons. And if we're going to do anything from the beginning, why not look towards and look for guidance from indigenous people? And so, what this book is a telling or retelling of traditional West African, specifically the Dougall community in West Africa, the rituals, the community aspect, and the healing wisdom. And so, they have a very profound way of welcoming a infant into the world. And it's something that we've been doing in our morning group. And a lot of these questions we're going to pose to ourselves through this meditation today. And so I'm going to read from the chapter on healing in the indigenous world. In our village, everyone gets excited when they hear a woman has become pregnant. Now, first, let's just stop there. We know that there are times when we hear someone is pregnant, it's not always a grand celebration. It's not always welcoming news. It's not always, given and received in a way that we feel is celebratory. From the very start, in the village, everyone gets excited when they hear a woman has become pregnant. Everyone asks, why is this person being sent to us at this time? Let's stop right there. What a great question. Why is this particular being sent to us at this time? And so when you think about you creating ideas, creating visions, creating goals for yourself, why? That's one of the questions you want to ask yourself. Why now? Why me? Why this thing? Why is it necessary for the village? Because what you are creating is not just for you, it is for the collective. So ask yourself, why is this being created right now? Second question, what gifts will this person have that our community needs? Can you imagine if you walked into every space and felt welcoming, that people had a feeling of there's something that you have that we need? I would like to be welcomed into every room, every space, every relationship, every human interaction, knowing that I am there for a purpose, on purpose, and that people have been waiting for me. Something that I love to say is that your name is being mentioned in rooms that you haven't entered yet. Can you imagine right now somebody is having a conversation? They may not know that they're specifically talking about you, but the energy that you create, the energy that you hold, is exactly what they are describing. And it is in their mind's eye that this space needs this particular energy, and you happen to have it. If that's not enough to make you feel like you are here on purpose, I don't know what else to tell you. And so I continue. A special ritual is held to answer these questions. So it's not just that the village is like, we're excited and we're asking these questions. They have an active ritual so that these questions can be posed. Expert shamans gather with the mother of the fetus and place her under hypnosis. They contact the life force behind the fetus and ask it to speak using the mother's voice. The shamans then converse with the fetus, asking it why it is coming into the world and what work it intends to do. The fetus responds in ways that suggest that the individual has first presented a proposal for his or her life purpose to some council of elders in the spirit world. Once the council approves the proposal, it gives the individual permission to be born into its physical body. In this way, The community of people welcoming an infant has some idea of that individual's intentions for life, and it is then the responsibility of that community. This is the part that I love the most. It is the responsibility of that community to help the person continue to remember and focus on her or his chosen life purpose. Can you imagine that before you do anything, whatever vision, whatever goal, whatever thing you desire to create, that you have a conversation with a council of elders in the spirit world to say, this is what I am proposing. This is what I'm bringing. This is what I'm creating. And then the council says, you know what? That's exactly what the world needs. Go forth, be born. And then once you're born, the community says, oh my gosh, we've been waiting for you. And now we're going to make sure that you don't lose sight of the thing that you have been born to do. I need everyone that is listening, either live or through a recording, to put that energy in your body in this right now moment and carry it through this entire year. You have to have conversations in your mind, in your heart, not waiting for permission, not waiting for anybody to tell you what your purpose is. You have to present it like you know it, you see it, you feel it, you talk it. No one needs to convince you that that is your purpose. You know it. And you're not waiting for permission. You're not waiting for someone to say, yeah, go forth. You are actually presenting it in a way that says, I know what I know to be true. This is my purpose, my passion, my vision, my goal. This is what I am here for. And I'm going to surround myself with people that support that vision, that remind me of who I am, because they recognize that it is essential for all of us. So we don't have time for individuals who are trying to be naysayers, picking apart our dreams, picking apart our vision, saying, well, I don't know, interjecting anywhere in our being that could disrupt us knowing this is what I'm here for. You don't understand. I know it in my body, in my bones, in every fiber and cell in my body. I'm here for a purpose. I've already had a conversation with my spirit team. I don't need anybody in the physical realm to agree with me. I know it. I know it. And so that every single choice that you make is aligned with what you know to be true. And you are engaging in interactions with people who are like, I see you. I hear what you're saying. I believe that that is what you are here for. How can I support you? How can I support you on your chosen life purpose? I'm telling y'all, this book right here gives me life every time I read it. And I don't know. That's another thing that I know I need to do. I got to read every book that I already have in my possession and stop buying new books. I bought this book quite some time ago and it still provides gems for me. And so, our meditation today is going to be centered on that thought, that that is what conception is. I have created something in my mind that I cannot let anybody else's stuff interrupt. And that might mean that I have to unlearn some things because that's the thing that's getting in the way. And so if I know I have something that I'm challenged with, which is why I'm wearing pink today, and I got one other book that I'll show you guys later. If I know there is something that gets in the way of me believing in me, then I have to do something about it. I've got to create an environment similar to when a child is in the womb. We have to create a healthy environment for this child to have a thriving environment to develop. The brain is developing, the bones are developing, the skin, the hair, all of the things that this child will need in the physical world is forming and coming together. And so, when mothers are pregnant, we got to make sure that they're getting the nutritional value, through their foods, through making sure that they're hydrated. Your vision, your goal, those things that are your passion, it needs to be supported. It needs to be nurtured. And so, how often are you nurturing the thing that you came here to do? And you may not even explicitly know what it is. We all have responsibilities of life that can sometimes get in the way of focusing on the purpose. But if you know there is something that you desire to do, some change that you desire to engage in, if you know what you know, and if you are in constant communication with the spirit world who has already given you full permission, has already said, well, we're going to support you in this side and on the other, like, yeah, this is what you are here for. We've already had a conversation about it. You don't have to keep asking us. You don't have to keep, wondering, is it for me to do? Yes, it's you. It's you, Erica. It's you, Colafello. It's you, Marissa. It's you, Yolanda. Yes, it's you. You don't need anybody else's permission. Now, along with that, we all have responsibilities, things that we have to do, things that we have to do. And so, conception creation, we recognize and realize that there are things that are going to happen automatically. There are things that we have to make sure that we are mindful of doing. And then there are those things that we may not want to do. Now, I don't know about anybody else's birth journey. I have 4 children. All of those experiences were different, but I know that there was one thing that I did not like, having to go for a checkup. Like, I hated having to go to the pediatrician, I mean, not the pediatrician, my obstetrician to get checked up. I just didn't like it. I always had anxiety at those well checkups because I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything right. And if anybody told me, oh, you're not eating enough, or you're not drinking enough water, or you're gaining too much weight, or you're not gaining enough weight, it disrupted the process for me and it no longer became enjoyable. There are some things in your process that are not going to be enjoyable. And so I want to read a passage from Malidoma Some's wife. They were quite a team. They have both transitioned, but oh my goodness, the gifts that they have left here. So, this is the spirit of intimacy, ancient African teachings in the way of relationships. I suggest everybody get a copy. And so, one of the things, again, that the Dougall people, the indigenous Dougall people of West Africa, believe, and something that we should also embody, is that, you know, intimacy is not just about the pursuit of pleasure. And so, as you are creating things, as you are conceiving, as you are in the act of building and creating something, a vision, a goal, a dream, pleasure is not the only component of conception. And we have to recognize that even though the things that we love don't always give us joy, doesn't mean that they're not worthy of doing. I can tell you as a business owner, there are aspects of this business that I wish I could throw out the window and I never had to do. But I understand the bigger picture is that I'm creating something that requires me to do some things that I don't really like, that aren't really pleasurable. And we can't let the things that are not pleasurable stop us from also operating in our purpose. And so we've got a definition of conception. It's in the mind's eye. It's an abstract idea, meaning it has not been created in physical form. Sometimes we want evidence of things before they're created. Create it spiritually. Have a conversation. The other thing is knowing again that pleasure is not the only component. We can't just show up for the fun things and not show up for all of the things that are required as we are conceiving and as we are creating. There may be some components that you just don't like. Doesn't mean that it's not worth you doing them if it's going to bring forth the vision, the goal, the thing that you are giving birth to. And then we have those questions. Why is this person being sent to us at this time? Why are you thinking about the thing at this point in time in your life? And that's not to dissuade you, but that's for you to understand what your why is, because that's going to need to be the thing that motivates you to keep doing it, keep going after it. You have to see the importance in it in order for you to make it a priority. And the other question is, what gifts will this person bring to the community? What are you bringing to the world? And I don't mean in a global sense, I mean energetically. Even if your universe is you and three other people, you are bringing something to the collective that is necessary. And you better be clear about what it is, because if someone says, well, who are you? And what are you bringing? And you hem and you haw, they're probably not going to believe that you're serious. So are you knowing it, seeing it, feeling it, talking about it? Is it part of your everyday daily conversation, where sometimes people may even feel like, I need you to stop talking about that thing because you're talking about it so much? And that doesn't mean giving every detail, but that means I am focused. I am focused. And so check your surroundings, check your environment, make sure that you are comfortable as we get ready to go into a meditative state of being. If you need some water, I got my green water, my chlorophyll water. Check your clothing, make sure that you're comfortable, make sure you're safe. If you are watching on the replay, and maybe you want to listen to it first before you get comfortable, that's okay too. Start to take some deep breathing, some deep breaths. Knowing all that we know, hearing all that we have heard in terms of what does conception mean? It's an abstract thought in your mind that you have, that you hold. And we are pouring out any other idea of conception, conceiving. It's not about the story of when you were created. It is about creating something within you now. You speaking to the inner child within you that says, I am in full participation of your creation. I am going to nurture you. I am going to pay attention to you. I'm going to give you all of the things that you need so that you can grow into the you that you are supposed to be and that you came here to be. We are going to be so good to the things that we are creating, so much so that it becomes a priority for us, along with the other responsibilities. So continue to breathe deeply. And maybe you have a thought, maybe there is an idea. I know a lot of people are doing vision boards and resolutions. And so maybe you are in the conception stage, and you may be there for quite some time. Depending upon the mammal, there are different, gestation periods. For humans, 9 months. For elephants, it's longer. For anything that gives birth, the gestation time can be different. So whatever you are growing and creating, it can take a lot of time. Don't focus on that. Focus on your why. Come into this right now moment. And if you have that abstract idea in your mind, spiritual wisdom says you're not dreaming big enough, dream even bigger. And so, whatever the vision, whatever the idea, whatever that thing is that you are creating, that thing that you came here to do, number one, let's take a deep breath and recognize that you are welcome here, you are safe here. You, your vision, your ideas, everything that you possess, we have been waiting for. You are welcomed here, and we are so excited. We are so excited by your presence. We are so excited about the gifts that you will be bringing. We want to hear about what those gifts are, and we want to support you. We want you to never forget what it is that you are here for. The excitement that has been generated because of your presence can be felt at the bottom of your feet and at the top of your head in this right now moment. Let that energy live in you, that I am necessary, I am wanted, that I and only me can bring forth this gift that I have counseled with the spiritual world about. I presented the idea. I created the thought, along with the source of my divine understanding. I am creating. And as I am in the energy of creation, I recognize that there are particular things that I will need to provide the nutrition, to provide the environment, and to provide the energy that is necessary for a full gestation period until I am determined that this thing, this vision, this goal is to be born into the world. I can take my time. I can learn my process. With every breath that I take, I am providing myself with what I need to make this a reality. I understand that I am the gift, that the gift lives in me, but I am the holder of the gift. And I understand that my mind is a shrine, my body is a shrine, my spirit is a shrine where I am creating this most magnificent gift. I am utilizing all that I am and making sure that you are taking full breaths so that you understand and that you hear and that you absorb the love that is surrounding each of us in this moment, because we are necessary, we are welcomed, and that the responsibility of the collective consciousness is to remind us what our chosen life purpose really is. And as you are breathing and connecting with that energy, and as you are checking in, similar to a check in with a physician, with a healthcare provider, with anyone who is invested in the healthy development of your dream, of your vision, and of your goal, you recognize and you are willing to accept where there may be things that could disrupt the natural development. Maybe it is a thought, maybe it's a belief, maybe it's a feeling. And there are so many feelings that we can hold in our body that can push us away from the truth that we are here on purpose. And if any of those feelings are real for you, then you have to identify them. You have to give them voice, you have to give them a name so that you can nurture them into another energy. And so if you are feeling unworthy, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling uncertain, unsure, not enough, worthless, if there is any feeling within your being that separates you from the knowing that you are here on purpose, do your best to breathe in and connect with that feeling in this right now moment so that we can give it the nurturing and the love that it needs. So we can counter with the truth that I have already had a council meeting in the spirit world where I laid out my passion, my vision, my goal, my reason for being here at this particular time in history. I knew before I was born into the physical world, I knew what time period I needed to be conceived and created. I know it. I know that I need to be here now. And I know what I am coming here to do. But there are times when I forget, when I doubt, and when I allow fear to be louder than the voice of that knowing. And I'm going to acknowledge it now so that I can give it what it needs, so that it no longer impacts my development and the development of my vision, my goal, my passion, and my purpose. I know there are times when I succumb to that darkness of doubt. I know that there are times when I feel absolutely hopeless. I know and I acknowledge and I confess and I am willing to admit that there really isn't any external force. It's the energy that is within me that has picked up some things, absorbed some things that are conflicting with the energy that brought me here in the first place. I came here knowing, and I learned some things along the way that have not helped me, and I'm willing to release them in this moment. I am willing to release them into the energy of possibility for them to be transformed into something else. I am willing to restore hope. I am willing to restore sacredness. I am willing to restore my divinity. I am willing to restore the memory that lives within my body, within my bones, and within my cells that led me here in the first place. I know why I was sent here. And if it feels good for you to repeat that, I know why I was sent here. And if any part of my story includes a thought, a memory, or an experience where someone told me or I created an idea that I'm not supposed to be here, I release that belief in this right now moment. I know I'm supposed to be here. I know that I possess gifts that are unique to me, that cannot be found in any other form, that I have to bring into the world. I am responding as if I am in my mother's womb, understanding that I am here on purpose. I have already done my work. I have already had my consultation, and I am fully aware of the gifts that I bring into this world and into the collective. And I am creating something, and I will give it what it needs to grow. And I will surround myself with people who remind me and support me in staying focused on my chosen life purpose. I chose this purpose. I chose this gift. I am creating what is necessary for it to be born into a physical reality so much I already know what it looks like, sounds like, feels like. And I'm so proud of myself. And the entire universe is celebrating with me, supporting me, guiding me, allowing me to live in it, allowing me to figure out what my process is, providing all things necessary for my vision to be a reality. And the whole world is rejoicing. I do not have to wait for an assignment. I am the assignment. I do not have to wait for permission. I give myself permission to be as grand and as audacious as I need to be to let this thing live and breathe. And so if anyone asks me, what are you doing? What are you working on? I am conceiving. I am creating something that the world has asked for, something that the world supports me in. And I am working on creating the environment that makes it so. Whew. There is no one else in this universe like you. You don't have to be like someone else. You don't have to look like someone else. You don't have to sound like someone else. You have to be you. That's your only requirement in assignment, is to be you and to take your time and to figure out who that is. It is not easy, but it's not hard. It's new because I know I'm supposed to do this. Sometimes it keeps me up at night. All of the ideas that formulate in my head, take those ideas, place them in front of you in this right now moment so that you can start to organize and look at them as not just an abstract idea, but as a reality that you are creating. Everything starts as an abstract thought. Everything. No one is sure about anything, but you have to have that audacity to have that abstract thought to say, let me see. Is it possible? All things are possible if you believe it enough and you put the energy behind it and you stop listening to anyone that's trying to tear you away from the thing that you came here to do. Well, you shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing it like that? Keep your eyes on your own paper and don't worry about what I'm doing over here. I am conceiving. And if you are not ready to reveal it to the world, you don't have to. People want to know, well, what you working on? I'm conceiving, I'm creating. What are you creating? My business. I'm creating my own abstract idea that I'm not ready for it to be born just yet, but I'm working on it every single day. If you can prioritize all of the other things in your life and give them the time, the focus, the energy, surely you can give that to the vision, the goal, the passion, and the purpose that you have for yourself. And if you say, well, I don't even know what my passion is, that's okay. You still came here for a reason. And there is a reason you are here. Aligning yourself with individuals and placing yourself in an environment where you can flourish and you can grow. And how do you do that? By eliminating people who are not conducive to your growth. If we do anything this year, please let's be very clear about the environments that we are spending our time in. I have to be in a community that supports me. I thank God that I made that a priority in my life. It is not their responsibility to make sure that I do it, but it is their responsibility to make sure that I'm reminded of it. And so when I see other people thriving in their purpose, it gets me excited. It inspires me. They may not even know that they have inspired me. But when I see them moving, it moves something in me, and not where I am trying to compete or compare, where I know who I am and I know I'm here for a purpose. And so when I see other people operating in their purpose, I'm like, we are here doing what we came here to do. And if I'm unsure, then let me surround myself with that energy that can inspire me and give me abstract ideas. You cannot have an abstract idea if your mind is closed and your heart is shut down. In order to be creative, you have to be open to the possibility that that crazy idea really ain't that crazy. That thought, could I do it? You might be able to, because everything starts as an abstract thought. So as we continue to breathe, one of the other things that I want us to, hey Giselle, Happy New Year. One of the things that I want us to be mindful of as we go through this year is that you are moving at your pace with your process. Please, 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 please. I know that we are in a visual digital age where everybody's sharing everything and we're seeing everything. Please don't compare where you are to where someone else is. You have no idea what it took for them to get to where they're at and what it takes for them to sustain it. So please pay attention to your own process. Invest in yourself in so many different ways. As I said, I recognize that one of my intentions for this year is to invest more in my friendships, in my relationships, because I can get so, focused on my own stuff. Sometimes I forget you're not here by yourself. We are all part of a community. And if somebody asks you to share something, then share it. If someone asks you, hey, if someone asks you about a resource, then share it. It's not taking anything away from you or diminishing you to share with someone else. We have gotten to this place where we want to keep everything closed behind, and I don't want to tell anybody, how I got to where I am. Well, we know you didn't get there by yourself. That is one of the biggest falsehoods that's ever been told. The self made uh, experience. I did this all by myself. None of us does anything by ourselves. We are in each other's business all of the time, whether we know it or not. And so make an investment in yourself by investing in other people and investing in places that support, similar to the description in this book about community. Community doesn't just mean where you live, community means the creation of communion. I'm here with y'all. You're here with me. How can we support each other? And we also have to not feel like it's too much to ask. I know we want to be prideful, humble people, but if there's something that you need, open your mouth and ask for it. Doesn't mean that you're always going to get it. But as they say, closed mouths do not get fed. So let us put away that I don't want to ask for too much. You couldn't. The universe is vast. You could never ask for too much. You might be asking the wrong people. And you might be asking in places where it's just not available. But keep asking. We're not taking no for an answer this year. We're not. We're going to keep going and keep going and keep going until we find a source, a viable source, but also giving as we're asking. And so I am excited for the inner child work that we're going to be doing because a lot of it is really more unlearning stuff. And now that we are in the first month of this year, we're only 8 days in. And I don't know about you guys, but I've already felt like, whew, 2023, what are you trying to do? 2023 is going to do whatever it does. I have to be focused and mindful about my participation in my purpose, my passion, my vision, my goal. I have to be the living, breathing embodiment of the reason why I'm here, and so do you. So people don't even have to ask you, what are you doing? What are you working on? It You see it. This is it. This is it. And so one of the reasons that I'm wearing pink today and I've changed a lot of my branding is I'm being more intentional about life in color. This is a book that I've had for a long time, didn't take an opportunity to read it like I should have. And so one of the reasons I'm wearing pink today is because one of the qualities of pink is perfection and unconditional love. One of the shadow sides of the color pink is self criticism and judgment of others. And I have to admit, I am so self critical of myself. And that's something that I want to work through. So that's why I'm wearing pink today. That's why you may see pink in a lot of the things that I do. I know that I can be a Judge Judy. I can judge other people harshly. And that's not an energy that I want to embody. And so I'm utilizing color to support me in who I say I want to be. I'm opening myself up to the abstract idea of color therapy. And so I say, try everything. It may not be as crazy as you think it is. As long as you're not harming yourself or harming anyone else, use all that is available. We have so many resources that are going to support us. And some of the other colors that I chose for this year, pink, blue, and green. And they all have their own properties and things that I want to embody, but also things that I want to transform. Because I'm in my conception stage right now where I am creating something magnificent. And I can't wait for it to be born. I don't know when its birth date is, but I'll know it. I'll feel it, similar to each and every single one of us. And for those of you who don't know, as a birth doula, I have been given so much information about the birth process and how each and every single one of us decided now's the time. Sometimes we did it prematurely, sometimes we needed a little help, but each of us, babies indicate I'm ready to be born. Let's pop off. Let's get these contractions started and it's time. Sometimes you need a little support in that, physical process, but you will know when your vision, your goals, all of those things are ready to be born. But if you are not nurturing them like a mother nurtures a child in her womb, then you cannot be confused at why the thing that you love and came here for is not developing in the way that you would like for it to develop. You got to nurture it. You got to love it. You got to give it what it needs. And you have to hold it as sacred. You have to hold it as sacred. One of the things that I've learned in this book, I showed y'all a lot of books today. One of the things that I've learned in this book is how the Dougall people, West African community, deals with intimacy and relationships and marriage, and how, again, it's not just an act of pleasure. You have to understand that creating something, whether it's a relationship, a business, whatever it is, within the creation of it, there are going to be aspects of it that are not pleasurable. And if we only focus on the happy time, good time, fun things, we're going to miss something, which is why we're doing inner child work. Because perhaps in our development, there was something that was missed. This is not an opportunity, again, for you to call up your mom and say, Mom, tell me what happened when I was being conceived. Unless you have that relationship with your mother and you want to have that conversation. This is an opportunity for you. And as we do more in the evolve community, we will have those kind of healing sessions where we will attempt to go back to that stage so we can see what the heck was going on, what was going on. And so I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful. I do want to do some business, a little bit of business. And so the Evolve community is where the real inner child work is happening. It is an online community that we will be meeting monthly, but also daily activities and things that will support inner child work. And remember, this entire year, we're taking chunks of developmental stages each and every single month. Right now, we're in January, we're in the conception prenatal stage. February will be in the birth to 18-month stage. And there are activities that we are going to engage in. Again, the Evolve community is $30 a month, and you get a wealth of information, but you also get healing sessions. You will have access to recordings about inner child work. It is a subscription based program where we are going to be doing a lot of this inner child work. We're going to do it on our lives. I do it in my morning call with my morning group on Clubhouse. That is available. That's, available to anyone to join as well. But the Evolve community, again, it's an online community with an online portal that you get your own login information, and you get to see all of the information that we are going to be working on. We're going to get to play. There'll be some activities that will take you back to your childhood. I'm excited about it. If you want to learn more about it, then schedule some time with me. I have on my website, it's called Office Hours. You can schedule complimentary 60 minutes conversation. We can talk about whatever, whatever. If you have questions, if you have comments, concerns, I just love to have conversations because that's also creating an environment that helps us all evolve and helps us grow. Hey, Roxanne. Hey, Maya Tool. I love y'all. And one of the reasons why this work is so important to me is because of the support and love that I receive. So I'm not out there looking for it in places that it is not. It exists because I am working to create it, and I want that for all of us. I want us to have the kind of community that is talked about, in books like this. I want us to have the kind of experiences where we feel loved, where we feel like every time we enter the room, everybody is happy for our presence. And just think about what would happen to a child's life if they knew, even before they were born into the physical world, that they were being welcomed and loved, and that the entire village, the entire community, not just your own family of origin, the entire community is like, we cannot wait for this child to be born because we know that they are coming with a gift and that we will get to support them in that gift. And so that is the type of community that I want to live in. And even if I don't physically live in it, I can create it. I can create it. And so I'm grateful for each and every single one of you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love what we create on Sundays at 1 o'clock. I missed y'all for 2 weeks. I'm going to have to think about something else to do if there's another holiday on a Sunday, because not meditating with you guys on Sunday absolutely affects the rest of my week. And so I love you guys, and I'm so thankful. If you want any more information on the books that I have shown today, I will place them in the YouTube description on my YouTube channel. I'll place the name and the author of all of the books that I showed. I think I showed 5 books today. And if you want more information, like if there's a particular color that you are interested about the energy of it, it's not just corresponding to our energy centers. There's a lot of information about that color theory. Let me know, and I'll drop a little hint. I'll drop a little line like, okay, maybe this is a color that you want to be wearing and that you want to meditate with. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. I thank you, my dear. I thank all of you for being here, for participating. I hope that it was beneficial to you. I hope you really, really start to think about how you are conceiving something, some abstract idea, some thought, some feeling. We are creating all of the time. We are creating all of the time. Let's make sure that we are doing our due diligence in creating things that align with our purpose, our passion. And if you want to have a conversation about what your passion is because you're not quite sure, then yeah, book some time with me. There are some exercises that we can go through that might support you in figuring out what your passion is. I love you guys, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Take your time. We only 8 days in. 2023 has not even really shown us everything that it's going to show us. So take some time, be patient, take care of yourself, and we will be back here next Sunday. I love y'all. Have a great one.